Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft video every weekday. And today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and try drafting Aetherdrift as just a short break from Marvel. All right, pack one, pick one. There's a card that is rightfully pretty famous, and as I recall, extremely good in the format. Lumbering Worldwagon, 2 and a green for an artifact vehicle. Its power is equal to the number of lands you control. When the vehicle enters or attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. One of the best ramping growth effects that we've seen in any recent year, for sure. So the story of this format, and I'm going to be taking it, the story of this format was that it started out in a place where green stats seem to be the most important thing. So like Golgari, I remember, was super winning. Thundering Worldwagon is one of the reasons why this massive 6/5 vehicle with menace and reach that is also a kill spell. When it enters, you get to destroy a non-land permanent with mana value 4 or less and crew cost of 3, and you can cycle it if you're missing the very strenuous mana requirements. So Golgari was really good, but in the late format, people started discovering that there was a Esper-centered artifacts deck that was also very, very strong. So this is more the classic thing to do in the format that was really good. But there's also, there's another kind of collection of 3 colors that turned out to be quite good in the format once people figured out the pieces for it. A very much more synergy intensive and less stats oriented one. There was also another green rare. I candidly I can't confidently tell you which one ended up playing out better in the format among 2 arbitrary rares in Aetherdrift, but I just remember that Lumbering Worldwagon was truly superb. Okay, Web Strike Elite, a 3/3 for 2 reach. Yes, you heard that right. And then if you really need to, you can cycle it, and when you cycle it, destroy an artifact or enchantment. So I'm going to be snapping that up. Very interesting that the overstated 2-drop was passed to us. It is actually possible that the Thundering Broodwagon is a better card, but I prize the flexibility and the cheapness and the simplicity of this game plan when I don't remember the format. There was also a Marauding Mako, the discard card that I actually played in a deck at the regional championship tournament in Washington, D.C. a few weeks ago. Okay, so we have a 4/1 for 2. I liked about this set that there were vanilla creatures, by the way. Start your engine, sack it, search for X basic land cards where X is your speed, and put those onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Speed is this thing where every time you deal damage to an opponent after you play something that starts your engines, you tick up this ladder. And so if you've done a bunch of dealing damage, you can ramp yourself out with Point the Way. I mean, naturally, as Unlimited Splash, that appeals to me. Guidelight Pathmaker. Okay, so when it enters, you may search your library for an artifact and reveal it, put it onto the battlefield if its mana value is 2 or less. It is a classic 2-for-1, but it's also a little bit slow. Could also go for a Hazard of the Dunes and just stay in green. I think let's just lean towards the green pick. I think the Pathmaker is probably nice as a 2-for-1. But we already have 1 vehicle. I know it's a vehicle set, but I'm gonna lean towards having fewer vehicles. Starting Column was one of these wonderful secrets of the format. It was not like a transparently amazingly good card, but it was important in that artifacts archetype. I also think Molt Tender is really, really good if you're trying to ramp yourself up in green, so that would be a nice one to take. Then there's also Broadside Barrage, 1, a blue, and a red for an instant. It deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, then draw a card and discard a card. So 5 damage and loot, a very, very strong card right there. Then Camera Launcher, I remember writing this card off, and then it turned out to be quite good. A 2/2 for 3, you can exhaust it, which is an ability that you can use one time, put a counter on it, and make a 1/1. Broadside Barrage is definitely a signal, but I think I might just go for the Molt Tender here. If I can do a classic green statsy ramp plan, I think I'm going to feel pretty good. And we're definitely sending a strong signal by passing Broadside Barrage, but I think that's basically as I intended. I also have to bear in mind that I did pass 2 Brood Wagons, which if the person to my left is behaving rationally, probably should put them into green-black. Okay, Dune Drifter. I think this one was pretty bad. When it enters, return an artifact or creature with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. We do have a 2/1 for 1, which already is kind of appealing if I'm just trying to go a statsy route. I do remember the spot cycle being pretty annoying. I don't actually know if it was good. Saddles amounts with its toughness rather than its power, and when it becomes tapped, you untap it, so you can just keep saddling with it. That's a pretty nice enabler. Discard 2 cards and draw that many cards. Yeah, there was a kind of edge case discard deck. I'm kind of wondering about maybe going Selesnya. This may have been a bad pick here, this card is definitely for the discard deck. Menace Crew 3. So there was a card that pulled all of the vehicles out of your graveyard, I think, and gave them haste and made them creatures until end of turn. So you would cycle this into your graveyard, then you would play that big spell and get a one-hit KO. Okay, when it saddles a mount or crews a vehicle during your main phase, that mount or vehicle gets +2/+0. It's a 3/3 for 4. I don't know. This is just your classic combat trick. I think Wreck Remover was particularly bad. Let's see, there is, I mean, a somewhat appropriately statted black creature. When you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+0. I think I'm going to go with, okay, sure, the Clamorous Ironclad. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. So Repurposing Bay, I was thinking maybe going for the red 3/3, but the Clamorous Ironclad is probably comparably good, to be honest. Okay. Starting column. So there is a starting column. What does Repurposing Bay do? Yes, a super artifacts build around. I remember this was also the major build around for the cycling deck, but that's probably not what we're doing today. Then there's also another very statsy green card, Earth Rumbler. I remember liking this one. So it's a 7/6 for 5 Vigilance Trample. You can exile an artifact or creature from your graveyard to make it a creature, or you can crew 3. So that's just a pretty strong creature right there. And then we have a Canyon Vaulter, which I think is pretty nice. It's 3 power for 2 mana in white. It's just usually a good place to be. And then it has, when it saddles a mount or crews a vehicle during your main phase, that mount or vehicle gains flying until end of turn. Keen Buccaneer was a card that I lost a lot of games trying to make good. Scoured Barrens is worth calling out. And then there's also a starting column. And Collision Course could be strong. I mean, if you are building around the whole mounts and vehicles thing, I'm definitely just going to snap up this card. Hold on. I think, yeah, I'm going to snap up the 3 power creature. I think this card was good, wasn't it? If I recall correctly. So it's a 2/3 for 4 flying. When it enters, you put 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 other vehicles and or creatures. This type of card is always good. Trip Up. Stall Out was absolutely nothing. Goblin Surveyor, I think, was a card I underestimated and then lost to a bunch. But yeah, I'll take the Cloudspire Cycle. So it is, when it enters, you get 2 counters distributed. So it's 4/5 of stats for 4 mana, although it is at the same time not a creature. It's a vehicle. Okay, so there's a Start Your Engines land. There is a Lightning Strike, which I think is probably just good. Then there's also a Thornwood Falls. I think let's speculate on the Lightning Strike more likely than speculating on Thornwood Falls. But okay, I might just take the Brightfield Glider here. This is interesting. Which one do we think is going to end up more open, white or red? I think I'll take the Glider just because I have slightly more allegiance to white at the moment and probably slightly more card quality already in white. I think I overestimated how good this card would be because at this time, I'll just take the 3/3 for 3. We were kind of coming out of an era where 1-drops with flying were amazing, and we're kind of back in that era with Marvel. Okay, I'll take Collision Course. And so I think everyone thought the Possum mount would be really strong, but I'm pretty sure it underperformed. That's my recollection. The Aether Spark. Yeah, this card I recall being rather good. So as long as it's attached to a creature, it can't be attacked and has, whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage during your turn, put that many loyalty counters on it. Attach the Aether Spark to one creature you control and put a counter on that creature. So you can play it and immediately attach it, then probably deal some damage and get some loyalty counters. Then you can draw 2 cards. Yeah, I remember this being one of the best cards in the format. It's also like the main story piece in the format. Waxen Shipshifter can enter as a copy of an artifact or creature you control. When this creature attacks while saddled, it gains indestructible. I remember this card being kind of annoying. I don't know if it was actually good, the Unwavering Sloth, but I definitely remember it being kind of tedious to play against. But okay, let's take the Aether Spark. And I'm pretty sure it's just no contest. I think Fanged Summoner was also quite good. Search for a creature or graveyard for a creature with no abilities. Yeah. If you have some like random vanilla creatures lying around, I guess then it's good. Okay, Basri, that's probably a nicer word for being in green, for being in white. I mean, 2/1 for 1. Exert Basri, which is you can like do it and then it stuns itself basically. I think make a 1/1 with a lifelink. Okay, that's pretty good. When you cycle it, cats you control gain hexproof and indestructible. Okay, so you know it's a 2/1 for 1. It's a Savannah Lions that can easily do 2 for 1. Okay. Embalmed Ascendant was Mega 2/2. This card was good. When a creature dies, I think it was good at least. And Spin Out is like a top removal spell, one of the highest performing instances of murder that we've seen. But I'm just going to go for Basri, definitely. And we're just trying to build a efficient, streamlined green-white aggro deck. I might take the Fang Druid Summoner here. I think Unstoppable Plan was nothing. At the beginning of your end step, untap non-land permanents. Yeah, that's nothing. I think let's take this guy. I remember Howler's Heavy was awesome. You could just be cycling this guy all day long. When you cycle it, target creature or vehicle in opponent controls gets -3, -0. Yeah, that was really fun. I definitely lost a lot of games trying to make Veloheart Bike good. I think I'll just speculate on the Fang Druid Summoner. I don't have that many 3-drops right now. Flood Your Engine, I think, was also good. That was a removal spell in the last pack. Engine Rat was such a good card. This card would just end games. 6 mana, each opponent loses 2 life. It's a 1/1 Death Touch for 1, so it makes the game go long, and then it just wins in the late game. Okay. 2/3 for 3 mounts and vehicles you control get +1/+1. It saddles mounts and vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. Probably we're not playing the Cloud Spire cycle. I don't think that card's like super amazing or anything. Oh, sorry. Fang Druid Summoner costs 4, not 3. My bad. These are vehicles. This is a removal spell. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna the auto picker is exactly reading my mind here. I'm just gonna take Run Over, classic bite spell. I think this was a very good card. I'm pretty sure. Wow, now we're getting a bunch of Engine Rats. That makes me feel a little bad. I think I can just take Camera Launcher. I'm pretty sure that card was just good, if I recall correctly. 2/2 for 3, put a counter on it, and make a 1/1. Yeah, I think this card turned out to be just good. I think everyone was underestimating it. And then there was a point in the format when people were like, Camera Launcher is actually good. And then you look at its stats and you're like, whoa, that card actually is doing well. All creatures and vehicles lose indestructible, then destroy all creatures and vehicles. Am I a board wipe deck? I don't think so. I'm a very play to the board deck, aren't I? But isn't every deck made better by a board wipe? I mean, there's just not really anything else for me to play here. I think the person to my left maybe took those, is cutting green because they took those, the brood wagons. So I think we're getting our white, but green is probably getting cut partly for that reason. Okay, I can take a 3/3 for 2, which I think is just good on its face. Hot take. 3/3 for 2 is a good stat line. And then this lets you get a card with no abilities. So unless this gets exiled, which I don't think was a big thing in this set, I'll always be able to grab it back with a Fang Druid Summoner. Fang Druid Summoner just needs 1 creature with no abilities to be good, right? Because you can get it out of your graveyard. So the best thing that you can do is trade off your Sundial before turn 4 and then play a Fang Druid Summoner and get it right back. Okay, Roadside Assistance. When it enters, make a 1/1. So it's a 1/1 that crews, and the enchanted permanent gets +1/+1 in lifelink. That's probably good. You can think of it as like a 1/1 with a ability that puts a counter on something immediately. Maybe it's not good. Maybe it's not good. Okay, 2/2 for 3, target creature or vehicle gains a lifelink and indestructible, but it doesn't have flash or anything. It's not a trick. I still think I'd take it though. It's just a solid 3. Probably better than taking another vehicle because I already have 4 vehicles. Okay, Loxodon Surveyor I think was perfectly fine. I think I overrated this card during the format, but I think it was actually perfectly fine. And my plan is just putting stats on the battlefield. So Air Response Unit versus Veloheart Bike. I don't know how much I want to be splashing. Let's just take the Air Response Unit. Veloheart Bike is a card I definitely over prioritized when this format was actually the current format. All right. Regal Imperiosaur. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1. Do I have other dinosaurs? I don't know if there are other dinosaurs in the format, but you know what this thing is? It is a 5/4 for 3 mana. I remember the first time I saw this card, I was like, what? They just pushed the stats in this format really far. There is Fang Guardian, a creature or vehicle you control gets +2/+2. I didn't respect this card at all, but then it kept beating me, and then it turns out it's just perfectly fine. Light Wheel Enhancements, +1/+1 in Vigilance. You can play it from your graveyard, so you don't really get 2 for 1 off of it. There's another Loxodon Surveyor. Wouldn't hate getting that back. But yeah, I'm just going to take the 5/4 for 3. We're just trying to put stats on the battlefield. Okay, Greenbelt Guardian. I think this card was phenomenal. 2/2 for 2 that can gain trample until end of turn, but then for 4 mana, you can put 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, maybe not phenomenal. I think it played out really well. No, you know what? I might be thinking of Greenbelt Radical from Murders at Karlov Manor. Something like that was like the best uncommon in that set. And maybe now my mind just thinks everything with a Greenbelt in its name is amazing. But look, I don't have any 2-drops and I definitely want them. And Sky Serpent Seeker, as awesome as it is outside of our colors. I could take the 1-drop, but I'm not sold on that one. I'm going to take the 2/2. Could be that the 1-drop is the pick there. I haven't played this set in, when did this come out? 2 years or something? Okay. 2/2 for 2, start your engines during your turn as first strike, exile it from your graveyard to draw a card. Absolutely no complaints here. Happy to snap that up. What are we going to be cutting is one question. Probably the combat tricks are not really where it's at for me. I think I like Collision Course, but I'm not certain. Maybe I'm going to cut some random 3-drop. I think that's the most likely thing. I don't know about Roadside Assistance. Okay, Interface Ace. Yeah, that's the 0/4 that crews. Oh, Grim Bauble. This card was nutty. This was so good. Target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-2, and then you can stack it to Surveil. But that's not what we're doing today. I might just take the dual land. There's a Far Fortune, 4/5 for 4. A little bit unfortunate. Maybe I just speculate on Tranquil Cove. I don't know. There's probably some amazing card in this pack that I'm forgetting about. I don't think I want this second camera launcher either. Ouch, we are getting totally cut. One thing, by the way, oh yeah, Roadside Blowout. It's exactly what it says. It is a blowout. One thing about these flashback drafts is nobody can read or send accurate signals. So good luck. Just plant yourself somewhere and hope it works out, because nobody knows what's good anymore. Nobody's paying attention. Everyone's just guessing. Now we get our Broadside Barrage, which I'm almost certain is a fantastic card, and a Runover, which is also very good. I'm going to take it. Yeah, maybe I'm not playing the Board Wipe. That's very possible. Spectacular Pileup. Let's see. I guess I'll take the Jaguar in case I want some more big beaters, but I probably don't. It's probably better than Swift Wing Assistant or Assailant, or Starting Column, which is kind of irrelevant to my plan here. Dredger's Insight. Oh yeah, this one was cool. A cool build around. When an artifact or creature leaves your graveyard, you gain 1. When it enters mill 4, and you can bring something back to your hand. I guess I'll speculate on it over the 3rd Light Shield Parry, the Veloheart Bike I'm not going to play, or Splashing into Black, which we don't even have time to get more than 1 pip into, basically. I do think Fang Guardian was actually good. I think I'll take that over Loxodon Surveyor, and we'll see what I end up cutting, but probably I can cut something else. Honestly, I might just play the 4th 1-drop. I think maybe I'm on 16 lands and a bunch of 1-drops. That sounds feasible. Another Camera Launcher. I actually think this card was like not bad. I doubt that I'm playing 2 of them, but I actually think it was not bad. Probably we're not playing the Lotus Guard Disciple. That card seems a little bad. Daring Mechanic also seems kind of bad, but maybe I would rather cut something more expensive. Maybe one of the 5-drops or some random spell. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, let's take a look at what we've got here. Just have to make 1 cut. Okay, I think that this is what I'm going with. So basically, I was... I think the Brightfield Gliders are... I think I was correct to remember that these were like way overhyped at the beginning of the format. And I don't think that I want them, because I don't think that I want to be crewing or, mounting those guys, right? Then we just have like a really good curve. If I keep, Collision Course, a double run over, play the Dredger's Insight, and then play just a whole bunch of creatures, 5 2-drop creatures. And then we have really nice 3s as well. We don't have enough of a ramp plan to really make me want to play like the Alacrian Jaguar, for example. And I'm cutting some of these like weaker, the weaker vehicles to just keep my crewing count low. It is very possible that I should be on 16 lands. You can imagine like 16 and I play like a Light Shield Parry, which has the cycling as an out. But is it really good enough to justify cutting a land? The thing is, the deck is really not that mana hungry, but I do have a good number of double pips, double green, double white, everything except, I mean, I have 3 colorless cards, I guess, but a bunch of cards, a bunch of colorful pips going around basically, and I really do want to curve out and not miss land drops. So I think I'm going to go with 9/8, but if I get flooded even once, the first thing I'll try is slap in a Light Shield Parry. All right, so that's the deck, and let's see how it goes. All right, looks like an awesome hand. It just looks like a really good hand, I think. I haven't played this set in a good long while, folks, but I think this is just a good hand. I think playing a 3/3 reach on turn 2 is just strong into Lumbering Worldwagon, sorry, is like one of the best things that you can do. One thing that made Webstrike Elite especially good, I think, is that I mentioned there was this kind of sleeper artifacts deck that turned out to be amazing. And Webstrike Elite can destroy an artifact. And by the way, you cycle it so you get a card back. You net one card. It's a 1 for 0. Oh yeah, Wretched Doll. That was a really good one as well. All right, well, I'm just going to play the Lumbering Worldwagon. I cannot crew it, but definitely I'm just going to go ahead and do that. It's even good if it's ramping you and not just fixing you, right? It ramps me out into Hazard of the Dunes. The exhaust mode specifically. And then there's no attack here. I don't want to trade. Unfortunately, I cannot crew up my Lumbering Worldwagon. And I could trade with Wretched Doll. What am I doing next turn? Hazard of the Dunes. Plus, I cannot also play Collision Course. Maybe I should be on 16 lands, huh? Yeah, maybe I actually do just block the Wretched Doll here. Webstrike Elite is not doing that much for me. This thing cannot get crewed. I'm probably not helping to crew it with my Weatherstrike Elite. I don't know if there's a counter here. I don't remember the set that well. But they could definitely have Ride's End or whatever it is. Just destroy target creature. And then I'm in trouble because, yeah, kind of looks like I flooded out, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4 total cards to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands. It's a bit of an issue. I could attack and get a land out of my deck, but I think I'd rather just be on the block, right? Pretty sure. Okay, they did have Ride's End, exactly as predicted. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, and they're on 3 colors, which is kind of cool. I guess I could have thought of Lumbering Worldwagon as a way of splashing if there was some good card that I don't remember that I didn't pay attention to. Oh, that's like the worst possible draw. And this has crew 3, so I'm going to get smacked for 1 billion. Okay, going down to 16 lands, right? Okay, so the only thing to do here is... oh, I could destroy target artifact. Okay, that's actually quite good. That's actually quite good. Okay, let's do that during their turn. Let them crew first. But yeah, I mean... maybe I should be on 16 lands. This flooding feels really bad. And getting a Molt Tender and Lumbering Worldwagon together kind of just... makes it so obvious that I'm overlanded. This thing doesn't have indestructible or anything, does it? No. Okay. You can just exile stuff to make it a creature. Yeah. No extra abilities. Stock up. Yeah. Okay. That makes me feel bad. I mean, I thought I had a very assertive hand. Webstrike Elite into Lumbering Worldwagon into Hazard of the Dunes. That sounded pretty assertive. But it actually... has me completely on the back foot to just some generic 2-drop into a generic 2-drop into a removal spell and then a huge vehicle. Too bad. All right. They got the best 2 cards in the top 5. Fair and balanced. All right. I just want to draw like any generic creature with power 3 or more next turn so that I can crew up my Worldwagon and I could kind of become the beatdown, I think, right? Okay. So they chose not to crew. Grim Javelineer. When you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+0, and when it dies, surveil. In response to the trigger, I assume they're going to put it on the Omnivore. But still. Oh my goodness, it's a sorcery! Ha 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 ha. I could chump the Omnivore, but what's the point? I thought it was like, I thought the first mode, when I first read it, I thought the first mode was target attacking creature. So I assumed that it had to be an instant, but that's not an instant. Okay. My bad. I don't know how avoidable that loss was though. I'm definitely going down to 16 lands and let's put in the Jaguar, I guess. It seemed like I needed more beefy stuff going on. Yeah, that was a crummy loss. I could have chumped the Omnivore, but whatever. Because then they're going to get to be attacking next turn for 3, and I'm at 4. I need to be able to block 2 different things somehow off of my top deck. Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, I should have destroyed target artifact when I had the opportunity. I just thought it was an instant. My bad. But you know what? We're going to turn this right around. 7 wins in a row. Just going to rattle them off right here. All right, that's definitely a mulligan. I could technically cycle Spectacular Pileup, but that doesn't sound like a good plan. It's a better hand. I don't know that it's a good hand, but it's a better hand. Probably put back... Maybe I put back, like, run over, and I'm just trying to... And I'm just strongly considering trying to get them to overextend. I don't think anyone's going to play around a board wipe when we haven't seen the set in 1,000 years. But maybe that will make people more likely to play around a board wipe because they don't know what exactly is in the set. And so they might be a little bit more cautious. Oh, everyone's doing a lot of splashing. That's interesting. The meta gets so weird when no one's played the set in a million years. So exhaust can be activated as an instant. So I think I have threat of activation when I attack. Okay, flood the engine. That's perfectly fine. On my random 2-drop. All right, go ahead and play a Hazard of the Dunes. It doesn't look like we're going to be spectacularly piling up today. I kind of just want to curve out and beat down. What's happening here? This is scary. All right, well, let's start with an attack. See what they've got. Something, I'm sure. Fang Guardian. Okay. Well, that's tedious. All right, then I'll go ahead and play the Earth Rumbler. I can exile a creature to make it a creature. Okay, wow, they're doing a lot of splashing. A lot of splashing. Into starting column, sure. And then another spell, perhaps. Their engines are started, I notice. All right. Play a Jaguar. I don't think there's any reason to do the launcher first. Crew up Earth Rumbler. Might as well crew. No reason not to. And then in for 7. And let's see what they've got here. Something. They've got something. Cycling a Howler's Heavy to save themselves from 3 damage. I think that's okay. I accept. I remember one annoying thing about this set is you're always passing priority constantly because everyone always has the opportunity to crew a vehicle forever. Funny thing about Aetherdrift. So I can almost go camera launcher and immediately power it up or, you know, exhaust it. When it enters, you gain 4. Yeah, that's a little tedious, to be certain. Okay, so I can start my engines. That's probably better. And then crew the Earth Rumbler. But I cannot also saddle a Lacrian Jaguar. It would be nice to saddle the Jaguar, because then I could actually attack with it. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I think let's play the Loxodon Surveyor and start my engines. Then I'm going to crew this up by exiling a creature. Then I'm going to saddle this with the Loxodon Surveyor. Then we get to go in with both creatures for a nice chunk of damage here. 13 damage. Staring you down, my friend. And let's see what that Ketrodon has to say about things. All right, blocking the Earth Rumbler. I'll trample over for 1 and deal 6 damage. Sounds fine. All right. And I've increased my speed, although I don't think there's anything in my deck that actually interacts with that. Down comes a Veteran Beast Rider. At the beginning of your end step, untap each creature you control, and you can give your creatures +1/+1 until end of turn. All right, you do that. I almost want to cycle Spectacular Pile Up, but I'm going to hold back on that urge. Okay, oh, that's kind of cool. So I can give my Alacrian Jaguar lifelink and indestructible. I'd say that sounds right. Yeah. I think I like that idea. They have a bite spell, perhaps? Looks like a bite spell. But it would need to also give the thing extra power if it's a bite spell. They don't have enough mana to cast a bite spell and also pump their creatures with the Beast Rider. All right, well, I'll definitely target the Jaguar. I think that makes sense. Then I'm going to saddle the Jaguar with, I guess, the Flyer. It is currently indestructible, but maybe they can bounce it. I wonder if that's what's happening. They have a bounce spell. Could be, could be. Well, in with this guy for 6. In with a Jaguar. What is your response? What say you to my Jaguar attack? A block. Very interesting. Well, they can't save it by pumping it, so they've got to have some other pump spell. Combat trick. Another Howler's Heavy. Yeah, that's a funny card. Okay. So I gain 3 lifelink, but they save themselves from taking any damage. I mean, I can just keep doing this all day, right? I can crew up the Jaguar with the Surveyor and attack with the Jaguar plus the Disciple. So they do still need to do something about all of this. I guess that's something. They have plenty of cards to exile from their graveyard. It does not have reach, though. So starting column, when you hit max speed, you can sack it to draw 2, discard 1. If I draw a good creature, I'll just board wipe here. Even though we technically lose the same number of creatures. This thing does have reach. Yeah, probably it's time to just board wipe. Wow, Molt Tender is just so bad in my deck. For real. All right, in with the team. Molt Tender just feels so bad in my deck for some reason. Yeah, I thought that Molt Tender was quite good in the format, though. It's just awful in my deck for some reason. Okay. I mean, I guess if I drew it turn 1, I'd be happy with it, I assume. I'm just hoping that we can sneak through some damage, but it looks like they're just making the obvious blocks. Alright. Destroy all creatures. I mean, I wish I'd had, like, more good stuff in my hand when I did that, so maybe that means I played it just a little bit too fast and loose. So you make a 1/1 that can saddle up and mount. Okay. Play a land. Let's play a camera launcher. And let's not reveal that the next thing that we're going to do is exhaust it. I can exhaust anytime, so... Not another blunder. The fact that they're at 12 and I don't have more good things left in my hand is definitely a disappointment. Okay, response. Level it up. Get a 1/1. I'm not going to trade here. No way. Even though it gives them an extra engine tick and it gets them closer to popping their starting column. Oh my goodness. And then I draw nothing, even though I'm on 16 lands. That's so cool. All right. Go ahead and play a Molt Tender and end. Creature from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact in, it gets 2 counters. And all of your stuff that's attacking me has trample. Cool. I guess I could have kept back the 1/1 to threaten double blocking Ovia, so maybe that was a good move. Maybe that would have been a good move. I don't know, let's see. Hopefully I just draw something relevant. But I haven't been very good at that so far. Another camera launcher. Okay, well, it's not the worst, right? I guess let's attack. I'm now at max speed. Hooray! Play a camera launcher. And let's end. So I'm definitely preferring to power up my camera launcher or exhaust my camera launcher. Possession engine. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, that's a ridiculously strong creature. And then do I chump Ovia? Probably not. I think I'll let them draw the cards. Oh, are they just going to grab the flyer? That would be odd. That would be odd. But the flyers are problems for them, right? I mean, I'm taking a good chunk of damage here. They are going to get to pop their starting column. They're going to get to attack with Possession Engine every turn. I would love to draw my Destroy Target Artifact now that I know how to use it. Actually, Fang Guardian is a very good one, isn't it? Let's try to draw a card right now. See what happens. Play a land. Oh, that's interesting. So I can destroy Possession Engine for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can do that next turn. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So I'll go in with both. And probably I do just play the Fang Guardian and just push more damage. I think that sounds right. I don't really want to play super scared around trying to organize fancy blocks or anything. If you kill my 1/1 flyer, that's perfectly fine by me, right? Bite spell onto the 1/1 flyer, that is just fine. I mean, I could have saved that, but who knew that they top decked? First of all, they've top decked 100% gas, 100%. The fact that they top decked specifically a bite spell, I mean, the odds are not super high. And even given that, still, it's not like it was a blowout. And I can get back my camera launcher by cycling Web Strike Elite and destroying their possession engine. When this leaves the battlefield, I will immediately get back my camera launcher. So just to make sure, yeah, cycle for 5. Also, they can't counter it. That's the other good thing about it. So I'm just going to attack with both, and then when they crew up possession engine, I'll cycle the Web Strike Elite. Yeah, it's not counterable. I guess they could have something that gives this indestructible, for example. They did finally hit some non-gas, by the way. The island and then the other land that they played. Are they thinking about crewing up the possession engine as an aggressive play? That's interesting. Okay, well, okay. Kind of surprised by this. Does this mean that they also have a bite spell or something? Why wouldn't they crew up possession engine? Can't this be used to crew the possession engine? It can. So I don't quite get that. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn or something? Does that exist in this format? Huh. Why wouldn't they crew this up in block? I guess they're just really afraid of possession engine getting given back. But if you're afraid to use it, then it's a much worse card. Put a +1 counter on each of up to 2 target mounts and or vehicles. It would be tempting to get them to put the counter on the possession engine or on the camera launcher. All right, but now we're going to see why Web Strike Elite is so good. Cycle it for 5, destroy possession engine. Repossess my dear camera launcher, and I get to draw a card, because that's fair. That card is just so messed up. None of these are dinosaurs, so let's go to combat first. I could use my bite spell. Honestly, let's just do that. Let's use the bite spell from the flyer into that guy to push lethal damage. I think that makes the most sense. All right, we're starting the redemption, the redemption arc. I'm not a huge fan of my deck. I feel like the white cards are not that great. They're kind of holding me back a little bit. Wonder if there's something I could do a little differently. I also keep drawing Molt Tender in the late game. I think the issue is half of my deck is amazing. Regal Imperiosaur, the Web Strike Elite, Greenbelt Guardian Solid, Molt Tender when you draw it early is awesome. Then we have the Aether Spark, one of the best cards in the format. Lumbering Worldwagon, one of the best cards in the format. And then on the other hand, another half of my deck is horrible. Like the Lacrian Jaguar, probably locks it on Surveyor, the Lotus Guard Disciple, a bunch of these cards. And so when I draw the bad half, it feels terrible. When I draw the good half, it feels great. But okay, hey, we just need to rattle off 6 more wins. Okay, in contrast to the last one, this is a very keepable hand. I have a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a 4-drop. And so that gives me plenty of time to find a plains. And then we also have Molt Tender and Lumbering Worldwagon, so we have tons of outs. Or we could just not draw plains, that's the other thing, but hopefully it happens. I have an artist proof of this plains, actually, signed artist proof, because I randomly ran into the artist at a convention that had nothing to do with Magic cards. It was like a general comic convention, so that was really cool. Okay, when one or more artifact and or creature cards leave your graveyard to game 1, we could play this, mill, and grab something, but I think I want to just get active, and then we'll do that later. Like, get some board, play the Fang Guardian, and then maybe there's a turn where we get to double spell Lean and Surveyor. I wish Lean and Surveyor were in my graveyard, actually, but you know, that it were there for Dredger's Insight. Ugh, this card is so cracked, and double spelling Starting Column into Grimbauble makes me want to cry. You're attacking me for 0 for some reason. Cheeky of you to do. All right, I'll start my engines. Okay, and then basically we're going to make a cheeky attack, and they're going to be like, oh, we're making cheeky attacks now. Well, I'll block with my ace, and then I'll Fang Guardian. Bam, got you. Didn't see that coming, did ya? Okay, there's my plains. In with the Surveyor, and if we get the damage in, obviously that's just gravy. That's awesome. I fully anticipate they block with the ace. It makes sense. I would do the same in their spot probably, unless I had really big plans for that ace. They may also have some trick. We'll see. But I'm going to pump the surveyor and we'll see what they've got. It could be a ride's end. But if you're killing my random 3/3, I'm not feeling terrible about that. The 3/3 that gives value from the graveyard. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I guess actually it's a little annoying because 1/5 is actually a very relevant stat line here. So that part is kind of tedious because it holds back Fang Guardian really nicely. Okay, so that does bother me, and now they get to fix their next draw. Yeah, okay, too bad. Too bad. These things happen, though. So next turn, Camera Launcher plus Leonin Surveyor, I think. And all of those cards can attack into the interface ace. Snap Block, if you were... Like, the Fang Guardian's doing nothing for me, so if you want to play a combat trick here, congratulations. But I'm definitely not just going to be letting them push me around. All right, when it enters, you make a 1/1. So should I be playing this card, or should I have taken this card? That's what we're about to learn. It's probably going to crush me. It's probably going to absolutely obliterate me, and then I'm going to regret ever not playing it. But the thing is, like, 5/4 does get blocked by Fang Guardian. All right, down comes Leonin Surveyor. So far, I have been unable to push any damage. They're about to start pushing damage with their Thopter. But yeah, Fang Guardian holds back the 5/4. Did they actually put anything into the bin with the Grimbauble? No, so these are just the natural draws that they would have had. I'm glad that they used their maximum overdrive on the interface ace, but I'm assuming that they have something else here. I think that's probably why they would only attack if they had that, but it's not. I'm not going to double block, and I'm not just going to start taking 5 every turn. Youch, another maximum overdrive. Very unfortunate for me. Okay. Regal Imperiosaur, well, that holds back their stuff, right? So let's go for the Dredger's Insight first. Actually, no, let's go Regal Imperiosaur. I'm going to level up the Camera Launcher, and I'd like to get a hit in, probably. Or do I just hold it for defense? Maybe let's hold it for defense. Play the land. Oh, sorry, my laundry's done. Yeah, maybe just hold it for defense. I don't know, I have pretty good attacks. Well, their Thopter can't attack. Their Thopter is going to be crewing up the Broadcast Rambler. They're 1 turn ahead of me to get to max speed. My max speed does let me straight up draw a card. There's lets them draw 2, discard 1, which is slightly better. But I can do it twice after my Surveyor is dead. So I could just attack with both here and level up the Camera Launcher. That sounds good. I like it. I like it. I like it. In with both. Level up the Camera Launcher. And then my defensive plan is 1/1 Flyer blocks the 1/1 Flyer. And 5/4 Imperiosaur blocks the 6/5. That's my plan. We'll see how it goes. No blocks? Okay, blocking the Camera Launcher because it will do more damage. That certainly makes sense to me. And then I actually have no reason to tip my hand and activate the Camera Launcher here. All right, so I'm closer to max speed now, which is kind of nice. All right, and yeah, okay. And then I can just do this on their turn, but hold up, you know, nobody knows what combat trick because the set is many years old. All right, in before they have a 3rd maximum overdrive. I would not be surprised at all. If you know what's what in sets like this, in old sets that come back on flashback, you can just get 1,000 fantastic cards. You just get 1,000 copies of whatever fantastic card is in the set. Having said that, I'm not going to not block. Like, I just don't think I'm supposed to be taking 7 damage a turn, which I can only do for 2 turns or whatever. Just because I read that they probably have a combat trick. They probably do have a combat trick. Good for them. Okay, rides end on the Imperiosaur. Okay, well, I'll definitely trade for the 1/1, I think. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. All right. So they did get some damage in. We can double block this next turn. Oh, Web Strike Elite. I cannot kill Broadcast, but pretty close, pretty close. So I think I'm going to go for Dredger's Insight here. Not Dread Insight, Dredger's Insight. So I can get an artifact, creature, or land. Even a land would not be terrible because that would let me cycle Web Strike Elite next turn and get rid of this pesky Broadcast Rambler. I'm definitely attacking with everything. I do not think I'm supposed to double block here. Okay, so it is a land. Okay, well, a little disappointing. I won't lie. This is when an artifact or creature leaves your graveyard. You gain 1. Too bad. I could hold them back to what? Prevent 1 damage from interface ace. Let's just get up to our, let's get up to our 4th card, and then I'm going to be able, or to our 4th. No, sorry, I can only get up to speed 3 here. My bad. So I can't actually exile a creature to gain 1, to draw a card, I mean. Oh, but I will actually also gain 1. Is the other thing worth mentioning. I could also just play Web Strike Elite, but I really don't think that's correct. I think next turn we're cycling the Web Strike Elite to get rid of Broadcast Rambler. I'm going down to 7 here or something, which is a little awkward. Even if they play a creature, though, I should be able to get some damage through. No, that's not true. Because they're not attacking with interface ace. Okay, well, fine enough. Now they can sack their starting column, but then they won't be able to play their stock up. Oh, that's pretty terrible for me. Them having a flyer, that's pretty much the worst case scenario. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the worst case scenario. Oh, hey, oh, look, I have a reach creature. So I think I take the 3. No attacks, let them crew their Rambler. I mean, maybe I do just play Hazard of the Dunes and put 3 counters on it, and that holds everything back. But then if they have a removal spell, then I'm double blocking Broadcast Rambler. And then am I just dead after that? Maybe then I don't cycle the Web Striker Elite. It's tough to figure out what the right move is. Oh, this is not power up, so I can't do this and exhaust it in the same turn. I'd say that pretty much settles it. So no attacks, unfortunately. Sadly for me. When this dies, you make a 1/1, but the 1/1 does not have flying. That's the good news. The rare piece of good news. Interesting that they didn't... Okay, I guess they didn't pop their starting column because they had to. Oh my goodness. That's so tedious because I can't even cycle Web Strike Elite to get rid of that. Oh, that's pretty bad for me. I'd say that's GG. I'm not sure how I'm going to get around that. Detention Chariot. Did I pass one of these? I don't think so, right? I passed some other big clunky thing. It untaps. Pass to blockers. Unfortunately, I don't even have the option of taking the damage. Because I would die. Taking the damage and hoping to exile the Detention Chariot. If I had like twice as much HP, that could be an option, but... Okay. This thing does not have trample, right? And this guy also has reach, but I don't think that actually helps me. Actually, I guess I can do some double blocks here that maybe save my life, potentially. Okay, the card is in my library, right? It is in my library. Just gonna double check. Search my library. I'll get the 1 card that I'm allowed to get here. All right, let's see what they've got. I mean, they do get to loot with starting column, which is really good for them. And I have to chump the Detention Chariot, I believe. I guess Fang Druid Summoner. I guess here's how this works. Fang Druid Summoner can block the Assailant. And then I can double block Detention Chariot with the other 2. And kill it, getting back my 2/2. I don't really care about the 2/2. But I need to get rid of the 6/6. Okay. They said maximum value time. Maximum value. All right. Let's see what they're working with here. Sundawn's Tyrant does keep me in the game, potentially. Like, that means I can... Or Sundial Dawn Tyrant. I can have the camera launcher and the Tyrant double block Detention Chariot, for example. This thing is crew 3, so they also don't have like an attack with everything or anything like that. I would love to be able to sneak through a cheeky damage somehow so that I could start exiling cards and gaining life. Well, exile 1 card, or yeah, exile 1 card, gain life, and draw a card. Yeah, I do have that in my graveyard. Okay, Earth Rumbler is a nice one. That can actually mount an attack, so that's good. And I don't even have to crew it because I have so many cards in my graveyard. Oh, I can exile a card from a graveyard to gain a life. Oh, Dredger's Insight. You cheeky, cheeky card. So maybe I was supposed to attack with Hazard of the Dunes first, now that I think about that. But I'm looking forward to attacking with Earth Rumbler. So Earth Rumbler, I can gain 1, 2, 3, 4 HP. That's pretty sweet. All right, this turned into a game, definitely. So maybe I do just attack with Hazard of the Dunes. I just like having a reach blocker against this board, or multiple reach blockers, should I say. Putting a mountain in the graveyard. I wonder what that means. They maybe just don't have their red card, whatever it is. All right, go to my turn. Molt Tender. Oh, Molt Tender can also exile cards from can also exile creatures to gain me life. Okay, I think I just attack with the Earth Rumbler. So let's go ahead and exile a creature from the graveyard. The reason I say that is I just need to get active. I guess I could also attack with Hazard of the Dunes. Is that worth doing? Seems risky, but it does push damage, and I like pushing damage. What would their attacks look like? It's hard for them to crew up the Detention Chariot, honestly. Yeah, honestly, I think I just attack with both of my big creatures. So I'm going to exile Greenbelt Guardian, gain a life. And next, they don't have anything with Death Touch. They do have a good chump blocker. I wonder if they're just going to like triple block the Earth Rumbler. This thing can become a 7/7. Yeah, I think these attacks are good. I get to go up to 7. What if they kill something? What if they kill a blocker and then they can corrupt Detention Chariot? I mean, I'll probably just chump. I think I like trying to get into the driver's seat here. I mean, they do have a whole bunch of cards in their hand, so that part is scary to me. This does mean that they're going to get to attack with some flyers. Before blocks, I'm just going to exile 2 creatures from the bin for sure. No doubt about that. The trample also makes this really hard for them. If they don't have really good cards in their hand, they have to really think about how exactly they want to trade. All right, no blocks. Okay, well, I'll definitely just power up Hazard. It seems like maybe they're thinking they can just kill me. Well, 14 damage to the opponent is pretty nice. I go up to speed 4. Then I'll go ahead and play a Molt Tender. It's just so hard for them to do lethal because I can gain 3 life at the drop of a hat, right? I don't really want to exile Loxodon Surveyor to Earth Rumbler, so maybe it's more like 2 life. Oh, I remember this was one of the bombs of the format. When it attacks while saddled, search for a non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Okay. It's not so bomby here, is it? I don't think. All right, go to attackers, go to my turn. Alacrian Jaguar is a totally sweet one as well. So do I start with this? Probably not. I think I also want to hold back the Jaguar. So let's activate Earth Rumbler again, and I think just make the same exact attack. What happens if I attack with everything? I have trample here, and then I have 1. Okay, I'm actually just going to go in the tank for a moment. I think they just have good blocks. Basically, they can put the interface ace in front of camera launcher. They can put the 3/4 in front of the 3/3. They take these 2 and they crew up the 6/6. Then maybe the 6/6 blocks Hazard. Or maybe they double block Hazard and the 5/5 blocks Earth Rumble. Actually, those are not very good. Those are not very good attack. Those are not very good blocks, are they? They could have... One thing I'm worried about is another maximum overdrive. That would be really unfortunate. This thing, to get crewed, I guess they could crew that and then have... If they had a maximum overdrive, they would have blocked last turn. So I think I'm just going to go bonkers and attack with everything. Gain 1. To be really precise, should I attack with the Molt Tender? I think so, because Molt Tender plus Fanged Summoner is one lethal combination that they have to be aware of. Yeah, classic attack with everything situation. In with the team. See what they got. I do wonder if they have I mean, as long as it's not a lifelink trick, I guess it could be another Ride's End. That would be really bad. I assume they would have played it last turn. I think they would have had to top deck it. If it's a really good combat trick, I think that they would have had to top deck it. So are they not crewing up Detention Chariot? That tells me a lot. We've already gone to blockers. So Detention Chariot is not getting in the game. This really smells like a Ride's End. Do they have enough toughness here? They have to soak up 11 of my Hazard of the Dunes plus Earth Rumbler damage because those two have trample. Kind of surprised that they didn't take these 4 toughness and turn it into 6 toughness. Okay, they're lining up blocks. Yeah, so this lethal combination Fanged Summoner plus Molt Tender, it's looking relevant here. Looks like they have a Ride's End. Something that gains life. This is way more than lethal getting through. And Earth Rumbler is surviving this combat as well. So Ride's End doesn't do it. Death Touch doesn't do it. Looks like we got there. We're going to damage. Okay. Cool. I wonder what that last card was. Oh, I didn't think I was getting out of that one. I thought they had me after those double maximum overrides. But okay. We did not get maximally overrided. We overrode them. So, okay, 2 wins, 1 loss. Could be worse. And the 1 loss was mostly due to my boneheadedness. But hey, you have to shake off the rust when you haven't played a format in a while. All right, I'd say this is a keeper. It has a collision course, which is a sorcery. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think this is an instant. It's actually a sorcery, okay? And then, but then I have a Lumbering Worldwagon, which can help me hit my planes. And also, I can cycle my Spectacular Pileup, which obviously I knew was what was going to happen. It's cool that people playing it very high mythic in the non-Marvel kind of queues. Okay, well that hit a forest, which will help me get to my planes, right? It's kind of cool because, you know, you would like to have a nice distribution of people playing Marvel and non-Marvel for everyone's maximum enjoyment, right? Okay, and then I can play Hazard of the Dunes and get to attack with Lumbering Worldwagon, which is pretty sweet. Play the land first, just in case that matters. Play the guy. Yeah, this card's like so messed up, Lumbering Worldwagon. Among my blunders in game one of them is that I probably should have just attacked with the Worldwagon on one of those turns. I think there was a moment when I could have gone in with it. Okay, so this card is very good at holding back Worldwagon hits, and I'm anticipating eventually they're gonna get me. They're gonna get me with a removal spell. Oh, Possession Engine on Hazard of the Dunes, so you can load up your hazard. Okay, the Aether Spark. Okay, so step 1, I'm gonna destroy target artifact as a sorcery. So get my hazard back. Then I can Aether Spark and attach it and put a counter on the creature. But I think what I actually do is just Sundial. Oh, darn, this is so awkward. I can play Loxodon Surveyor, which has 3 power, or I can play Leonin Surveyor, or I can play Sundial. So when it's attached to a creature, it can't be attacked. And when a crypt creature deals combat damage, put that many loyalty counters on it. For mana efficiency, do I just play the Aether Spark? I don't think it's risky. I guess they could have destroy target artifact, but then they would probably use it on my Worldwagon. So yeah, I guess we just play the Aether Spark and stick it on my creature. And now if they have a another Possession Engine, then I think it falls off, and then maybe, but they can't attack it. So now Hazard can actually get through for damage, which is kind of cool if I have 7 mana up. I remember this card being awesome. Spend this mana to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability. Any ability. It doesn't have to be an artifact ability. White, but that doesn't fix them into a new color. Camera Launcher, yeah, I told you. The top players love Camera Launcher, it turns out. I did not see it coming in the early format, but they do. Okay, so now what I can do is something like attack with Hazard. Nah, I want to attack with the Worldwagon. I can re-equip Aether Spark to the Worldwagon give the Worldwagon a counter and make it survive combat, and also not be blockable by Caelurna. The issue with that is then I believe they can attack it, but I think that's okay. Well, no, because I would have to tap down. Okay, I can tap Hazard to crew up the Worldwagon. It just makes my attack a bit weaker, but Hazard is going to get blocked anyways by Caelurna. I just don't want the Ether Spark to get attacked down and killed. Camera Launcher is going to make a 1/1. I think I do want to re-equip it to the Lumbering Worldwagon. No, I don't. I'm just going to play Sundial plus Leonin Surveyor. Tap those two down to crew up the Worldwagon. Attack with just the Worldwagon, because if I do go 1 for 2 here, I think I'm still happy, honestly. Because I also get rid of the potential of them activating their camera launcher. And look, I have so many lands. Okay, awesome. Now that I started my engines, I get up to 2 on the engines, and then let's play Loxodon Surveyor. Yeah, I didn't really want the Ether Spark to fall off. And then I guess I just draw 2. That sounds good. Yeah, so I kept the ability to draw 2 without it going down to 5 and being attackable. All right, and even the white board wipe doesn't destroy the Ether Spark. I mean, Lumbering Worldwagon plus Ether Spark is one of the grossest things that you can do in the whole format. Gain control of a creature. Oh, I thought that this would fall off because I don't control the creature anymore. I guess it doesn't require it to continue being a creature, but it's still my Ether Spark. So I can attach it to something. I just want to think about what I attach it to. So they were able to recast their or replay their possession engine. That's funny. Okay, so I think, can I just play everything? 1. So I have 8 mana. Okay, so I cannot play Basri, but I can play the other 2. That sounds fine. So I can play Camera Launcher, crew it up with the Surveyor, crew up the Worldwagon with the Surveyor. That sounds good. Play Camera Launcher, double crew. You know, the other thing I could do is Basri plus activate the launcher, or I could re-equip Ether Spark here. I think putting a counter on the Worldwagon no longer really matters. Let's put Ether Spark onto Loxodon Surveyor, I'd say. I think that makes sense. Get it off of that Hazard of the Dunes that has betrayed me so many times. Then I'm going to go ahead and crew up the Worldwagon. The sad thing is they can crew their possession engine, so my Surveyor cannot attack this turn. It holds back a lot of my stuff, but putting a counter on that guy was you know, it was a step in the right direction to be able to attack. And Earth Rumbler is going to get to attack. And I'm making my draws so much better. Every attack makes my draws so much better. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands left in the deck. I think this thing's pretty much a must block at this point. You're not a cat, are you? Just a vehicle? Too bad. All right, and then they double block, I assume. Kind of looks like it. Doesn't have trample, so no reason for them to throw Caelurna into the meat grinder here. All right, so it's a double block. That's fine. Go to damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and play an Earth Rumbler. And end. Yeah. The awkward thing is not getting more counters on the Ether Spark. I might just stick it on Earth Rumbler next turn. The only problem with that, I might actually just pump the Surveyor. I really want to be drawing cards. That would be nice. Okay, when it enters, return a creature or vehicle an opponent controls to its owner's hand. If their speed is greater than each other player's speed, reduce it by 1. Okay, so this is just a giant Man of War. I mean, it's an amazing card. But it is a giant Man of War. That's what that is. Oh, Web Strike a lead. Yes, please. Yes, please. This card has been so good for me. Yeah, I really got so many cracked cards. Okay, Possession Engine can go away. Oh, it's this thing again. Check it out. My forest disappeared. See? My forest disappeared. Is an arena bug. But documenting the arena bug. Okay. Cycle this. Get rid of that Possession Engine. Get my Hazard back. Draw a card. Oh, Dredger's Insight. That's sweet. I don't think I need the card draw. I think I'd rather have the damage here. Actually, no, damage doesn't matter. Okay, actually, no, I like that. I like that. Equip this to the sundial is the correct move, I think. And then attack, attack, attack. I could attack with everything. Oh, this thing came into under my control this turn, so only 2 attacks. But I really think I'm just winning the long run, so no real reason to get super aggro, I don't think. They have 1 card, and it hasn't seemed to be that impressive, because, like, I don't know, last turn's play was a Spike Shell Harrier. Now, Ether Spark is attackable, but I don't think that's a huge deal. Milling 4 is, like, actually kind of bad for me. Actually, Fang is pretty good, but maybe I just want the Fang Guardian. Gain 1, and you can go. All right, what do they got? Hull Drifter. I lost so many games playing Hull Drifters. Their deck is awesome. I don't even remember enough about this set to know what I'm scared of, though. All right, let's play a land. Let's... Do I draw 2? Kind of want to just draw 2. I'm a sucker for drawing cards. I don't know if all of you knew that about me, but I like just drawing cards. Run over sounds pretty sweet. So this has crew 3, so if I run over the Midnight Mangler, then they can just crew it. I mean, they can just crew the Hull Drifter. Okay, I'm sure at this point I just go in with the team. Completely certain that that's the right move. They don't have the luxury of, like, not blocking and getting Ether Sparked. Or in getting the Ether Spark on the crackback. It's just not really an option for them. If they do block the hazard with Kael'Orna, I wonder if I do just pump. Okay, so you can do that, and then maybe I just shoot that guy. Just shoot the Hull Drifter before it blocks. Yeah. It's kind of like Grandmaster Ben Feingold, who streams chess on Twitch, has a saying when he's in a position like that, every move wins. Like, I don't know what to do. Every move wins. All right. So we are 3-1, beat a high rank mythic player, and the secret to my success was knowing that destroy target artifact is a sorcery. That's how I won. Okay, now I don't think that I keep this one. I would need to find a forest for the Lumbering Worldwagon, I believe. So I'm gonna mulligan that. Ooh, this is sickening. Regal Imperial, a 2-drop Regal Imperiosaur Ether Spark. I think I just put back Run Over. Honestly, I think I don't. Like, my plan is to run over them using creatures, not run over them using run overs, I think. Could be you could also put back a land, but it's either one of the forests that's going to play Imperiosaur. I mean, I just don't think you should put back a land there. But concretely here, it would have been one of the forests that would play Imperiosaur or my 1 plains. So I do not think that's correct. Yeah, okay. This is a little awkward, though, drawing 2 forests in a row. I am on 16 lands now, so I can't even blame my... my mana hungriness. I'm just gonna trade here, I think. I'm just gonna trade here. I don't really care. Like, these things also have Death Touch, is kind of annoying for me. Oh my goodness. Can you stop? I just drew 4 lands in a row. I mean, that's just an insult. Obviously now I wish I had the run over. Wow. I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? Like, I literally kept both creatures in the hand to support the Ether Spark, and then I drew land, 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 land. Literally land, 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 land. So don't really know what I'm supposed to say about that. Okay, but this guy should get me some creatures. I'll definitely just play it. I maintained my life total rather than taking the 3 damage earlier. When it attacks while saddled, you get a plains. I remember this card being absolutely bonkers. Just, you have another removal spell? That would be sad. That would be very, very sad. Okay, saddle it, get a plains. I accept. That's fine. I accept, and that's fine. I'm accepting this because it's fine. It's obviously very good for my opponent, but look, we're just trying to either spark it out. Oh my goodness. This is really one of the best cards in the format. You get 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantments. And it has trample as well, so I can't even like save my Ether Spark from it with little 1/1 cats. I cannot attack anymore. They literally got 2 different 1/1s off of it. No, this is not a beatable curve out. Especially when you draw 4 lands in a row, but the 2-drop, Glory Hearth Glory Heath Lynx into Bright Black, whatever, the Gearhulk. Why did they print so many unpronounceable cards in the format? I don't know. Now at this point, the only thing that we can do... Oh, I missed that this is also the 2-3 for 1. It lets you become a flyer that gets counters. I mean, that's just absolutely cracked. The only thing we can do is just hope that the opponent massively screws up. Also, the Scurryfoot was like a mythic common in the format. Yep, no, this is way outside of what I can recover from. I don't think there's really anything left. Maybe I should not have traded Canyon Vaulter, but it wouldn't even matter. I guess it technically would hold back the Gearhulk. Maybe I should have played Aetherspark and drawn just to try to... My 2 average cards are not going to be better than Gearhulk into Scurryfoot plus Glide Car. I mean, and then they're getting another Plains. Yeah, we can only sit back and admire at this point. This is a completely cracked curve out. And they have a combat trick, but I'll just play into it. So I'll do a double block here, and we'll see what combat trick they have for me. So this is a 3-3 and a 2-2, by the way. That's what they have face up. All right, get it over with. Show me your combat trick. I'll play Aetherspark and draw 2. Just, I don't know what I could draw. Maybe if I draw like 2 5-drops or something. Oh, interesting. Rather than Rides ending one of the blockers. Interesting. Okay. I do gain some life back. Lifelink. Lifelink for the win. All right. And they cannot exhaust this on the same turn. Okay. So I could play the Aetherspark, attach it. I don't think that that's the move. I think let's just hold back the Fang Guardian. I'm going to take 4 from the Gearhulk. But maybe I can get a board presence. Then I can like attack with the Guardian, attach the Aetherspark, draw a 5-drop, and survive. Oh, Earth Rumbler. That's lovely. I don't know. Maybe holding back for the Guardian was greedy here. Because that thing's also going to be a flyer. There's no winning this one. I mean, hitting a Gearhulk essentially on curve. And finding a rare and a mythic common off of it. If this had just been like any one strong 4-drop, I think we could be okay here. Really, it's the fact that they had just removal for everything. Okay, I traded my Canyon Vaulter, but I would be like 4 or 6 HP lower now if I wasn't trading with that 2-1. And then the fact that they had removal for my Imperious Orb before I could land the Aetherspark and get a billion counters onto it. That's what actually killed me here. Okay, so it doesn't get flying. So I'm going to go ahead, play the Fang Guardian, and pump the 1-1, and then block. If they have another run over, then GG. At the first sign of a combat trick, I quit. Oh, that's the first sign of a combat trick. No. Okay. They have another run over. No, their deck is cracked. Or at least that curve out is cracked. It's really just the Gearhulk. The Gearhulk and the double run over is a lot. And me drawing 4 lands in a row, that kind of took me out of contention as well. Because they got a 3-for-1 with the Gearhulk, and it was a very good 3. And I got a 0-for-4 with my first 4 draws. So they were up net 7 cards or so in the first 4 turns. I don't think I'm supposed to get onto 15 lands, though. Do I have any more card selection or something? No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess I could play the parry, cut something more expensive, but I wanted the more expensive stuff. No, that was just not going to be a beatable curve out for pretty much any normal deck. All right, I would love to get a 4th win. 3-3 definitely feels like a draft that did not get there, especially since I threw away a game to my own stupidity. All right, I can keep this one. It has a 1-drop, no 2-drop, but some good 3 and 4s. It has a 1-drop, and then I can make a cat on 2, so like I still have something to do. Oh, that's a 2-drop. Hey there. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, hitting a 2-drop was like the best possible thing. I don't really want to use a Lotus Guard Disciple on something small. I'd rather use it on something big, but okay. Yeah, that's a little annoying. I remember this card ended up being pretty good. I'm pretty sure it did. I don't know. It's completely shutting down my game right now, so I could see it being pretty good. This card did not end up being good, just some Windrake. All right, I wanted it to be good because that's my style of Magic card, but... All right, I'll give the Basri lifelink and indestructible. They're gonna block the Surveyor into the Greenbelt Guardian. There's no reason not to. But I don't mind that. I gain 2, we get a simplifying trade, and then Fang Guardian can help me push damage after this. Potentially. I wonder if they have the bite spell. But yeah, I'm just gonna go in with both. Do I go in with both? It feels a little risky. I mean, it's so obvious that I have a combat trick. I'll just go in with the Disciple. I assume they'll take it. If there's a counter in this set, I don't think there's a Quench. I'm just going by memory here. I don't think there's a Quench. But I'm sure they have something. Look, they kept up 2 mana. Is there a Quench? No, I didn't remember. Oh, man. Just threw away a card. Well, obviously, if I remembered that, I would not have just, like, thrown a card into that. But you know what? I mean, I should have played it before combat, probably. But I'd rather that gets countered than Hazard of the Dunes, Imperiosaur. And it's counter unless they pay 4, so... But wow, every 1-3 against my Savannah Lions, that's pretty unfortunate for me. Okay, well, this is a good one, at least. Play a Worldwagon. Get a land. I do choose to take that action, thank you, and I will get a Forest for my troubles. So what does this do again? I remember this card is not very good. Copy a spell you control and you can choose new targets. Yeah, very, very situational card. I think I will tap it for the cat, though. I think it's cat time. Locks it on Surveyor is perfectly fine. And then I'll probably play Hazard of the Dunes. Then they can put 2 counters, but that's only 3 power. All right, so they attack with everything, blah, 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 take the damage. Blah, 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 I take the damage, thank you. All right, you're at max speed, so you can exile your guy from the graveyard to draw a card whenever you want to. I just need to not get run over. That's the main thing about it. I guess having multiple Basris is the goal so that you can give your cats indestructible. Okay, so I think we'll go for Regal Imperiosaur and make an aggressive attack. Sounds right to me. I could also, you know what? I'm almost at Fang Druid Summoner mana. Maybe I play Hazard of the Dunes. I'm not anticipating another Spectral Interference after the first one. But if I play it and tap it, that's a little tedious. That becomes a little bit tedious. In the sense that then I cannot block the Skystreak Engineers, and then they have info that I have a big reach creature. So, okay, let's not do that one. Let's attempt Regal Imperiosaur. Just don't counter it unless I pay 4, please. That would bug me. All right, and then we're going to go in with an attack. The cat is going to be chumping Locks It on Surveyor next turn. Unless the Surveyor is about to kill my Worldwagon somehow. That's very possible. I'll take that action. I'll get myself a Forest. Really nice to hit all your land drops. I love the Lumbering Worldwagon. I love it when it's on my side. I hate it when it's on the opponent's side. And yeah, I'll definitely be chumping. The cat will chump absolutely anything here. Oh, you're about to copy something? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Is it a bite spell that you're about to copy? That would be unfortunate. The thing about the Slick Imitator, I mean, I really wanted it to be good, and I lost a lot of drafts trying to make it good. This doesn't have trample or anything, right? No. The thing about it is you're already 1-for-1ing yourself, I guess. Like, you don't get an extra card from this. You sacrifice your card to make it happen. Trade the Helm. Okay, so you get a Regal Imperiosaur. Okay. I think I'll probably play Hazard at this point, and then also Web Strike Elite. Just get my reach online. Hazard plus Web Strike Elite. Doesn't look like they're going to give me an artifact or enchantment to hit with the cycling ability. And then I'll probably tap the Imitator. Let's see. Tap the Imitator and the Elite so that Hazard can be blocking the Engineers if need be. The issue is getting rid of this Imperiosaur. Do I even attack here? I'm going to go with probably. I think attacking is really good. I can attack for 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. And then just 2 more damage and they're dead. And I have 2 creatures still. Well, I have 1 creature to block with. They're attacking for 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, so not even quite lethal. Yeah, I think I like an attack here. I think I like a highly aggressive attack in this spot. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. So in with the team. I could have kept back Slick Imitator to hold back 6 damage, but I think every life is going to matter here, honestly. 7, bonk, bonk, bonk. So they're at 2. That means, for example, that Bozri is now a lethal attacker. I think it makes a difference. Whoa, they top-decked Theta Varma, one of the top cards in the format. You may have the base power and toughness of each other creature you control become its power until end of turn. Is this lethal? No, not quite. But close. Oh, that was dramatic. Them top-decking Theta Varma. I think that might be like the best card in the set. Or Sabsunin was the best. This one's pretty close, maybe. Okay, so I can play Fang Druid Summoner. Okay, let's think for a bit. I'm sure I cannot push lethal. Okay, so let's play a land. I kind of want to crew the Worldwagon with like Summoner plus something, but that costs 2 to do. So let's play the Surveyor first. Crew this with Surveyor plus Imitator and attack, something like that. I think I take out their Imperiosaur this way. Probably. I don't think they're going to give me a 2-for-1. Sure, I'll get a Plains. Basically, I'm going to get 2 more blockers here. Theta Varma is going to let them potentially have everything be a 4-4. Yeah, this is what I thought would happen. I'll go ahead and play Fang Druid Summoner. Not really 2 more. I guess it's more like 1 more. So I search my library for Sundial. And then pass. I have a 1/1 lifelinker to chump with, and I have 4 blockers. I don't think that they can be making aggressive attacks here. Pretty sure that's not how that's going to work. Now, if they don't attack, I might not activate the Bozri because the 1/1 would not have lifelink. Oh, X equals 4 now? Ah, they can turn it into 6/6s. My bad. But I mean, it's certainly not a lethal attack, right? Nobody has trample or anything. So let's just think for a second. I mean, I have lethal on the crackback, certainly, right? There's no lifelink going on here. I could just take the 2 flyers, basically. Yeah. Yep. Just making sure that there were no tricks, no lifelink or anything. All right. 4 wins. I'm always content with 4 wins. I also did not think that I was going to win that one. That was good, close, tight magic. It was when I got to start attacking that I started feeling pretty good about it. All right, 4 and 2. Let's see if we can get a 5th win here. Maybe after my collaboration video yesterday with the Vintage Cube Chef, maybe he transferred his infamous 5/3 curse onto me. I hope not, though. All right, this is an awesome hand. This is probably... I won't say it's my best hand yet, because I've had hands with the Lumbering Wagon on 3, which is pretty much unbeatable. Hands with Either Spark on 4, which is pretty darn good. But still, this is like... about as good as it gets. Also, Molt Tender plus Dredger's Insight. You know, this gives the Tender some fodder to start making mana with. I'm really happy to actually see the Tender on turn 1. That's pretty nice. I don't have another 1-drop that I can cast. If I Dredger's Insighted, maybe I... Dredger's Insighted and had a 1-drop, maybe I could get something in the bin without having to mill using the Molt Tender. But okay. We can't have everything in life, can we? So I'll go ahead and play a Canyon Vaulter. What is this for 1 white? I mean, I don't know the set anymore, so I'm unaware. And my turn. There could be a 1 white cycling ability. Walking Sarcophagus. Oh yeah, I love the art on this one. Okay, so max speed, it gets +1/+2, so it's a 2/1 for 2. Yeah, I don't think that that card was particularly good, but I'm sure that there are reasons to play it. Okay, so I could play a Web Striker Elite. I could also cycle it to destroy their Walking Sarcophagus at some point. I could also just Collision Course the Walking Sarcophagus. Let's start with a Dredger's Insight. So yeah, that does cost a green. I don't know. Would I rather just play the Web Striker Elite or Camera Launcher? I kind of want to use all of my mana if at all possible. So let's start with Dredger's Insight, see what we get here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's... A lot of good options here, but let's just take the Ether Spark. Let's just take this little thing called the Ether Spark. Yeah, tough stuff. I milled a lot of good cards, and now I cannot play the Web Striker Elite. Do I offer a trade of my 3-1 for their 2-1? I kind of want to. I don't want to use the Collision Course. Actually, no. Let's just sit tight. I have an Ether Spark in my hand. It feels really awkward to not be mana efficient here, but I think I just sit tight. I'll take the damage. It does let them level up or, you know, increase their speed. But sometimes your opponent gets to increase their speed in Aetherdrift. That's the way of the race, you know? All right, I'll mill a card. Oh, that's a main card that would benefit from me milling, so that's a little painful. But okay, let's go for the Ether Spark. They did see that I had this when they attacked with the Walking Sarcophagus, so I'm anticipating something here. Could be Ride's End. Ride's End on a Canyon Vaulter I don't really mind. It's hard for them to kill the Ether Spark after that. I don't know, they could just have a pump spell, I guess. That would be unfortunate. But if I do get to land this, put a counter on the Vaulter, and land a hit on them, then that's really good. So let's see, let's see. Oh, they do have a kill spell. If they have a kill spell and a pump spell, then I'm really sad. But you can't really play around combinations of two different things that much in draft. Yeah, especially when what you're giving up is the equity of this happening, literally going to 9 counters on the Ether Spark and having a 4-2. I wonder if they're actually mono white. That could explain why they're playing the Walking Sarcophagus. No, destroy target artifact. That's so annoying. Well, you know what? I am now at, I now have a 4-2 on the field. I'm still completely mana screwed, but this should be okay. Also, Molt Tender and Judger's Insight is a life gain combo, so that helps me in the race. But yeah, I think they're mono white. That's also a cheeky thing that people like to do during flashback drafts. If you really like to color and people don't really know what the good cards are, then, you know, it might just be super open and you get to do a mono version of it on flashback. Okay, so I'll do this, and then I probably just go Camera Launcher and Bozzery. I think that sounds good. No, actually, I kind of want to go Sundial and Web Striker Elite just because it adds up to more power. Yeah, I think just having a lot more power is worth losing the equity of not being able to destroy target artifact or enchantment with Web Striker Elite by cycling it, because I also have destroy target artifact here, or deal X damage. All right, so then we're going to go with the Web Striker Elite, just play it. And I'm going to exile a creature just to get my juicy, juicy life gain. A creature or an artifact. So I have 3 more life to gain that way. I mean, I am very soon going to start getting punished. This is not an artifact, so... I can deal X damage, or X is a number of permanents I control that are creatures and or vehicles, but it has ward 2. I can deal some damage to it, but it has ward 2. Tedious. I mean, I'm starting to get punished for being mana screwed. I've had huge mana problems all of today, so that's too bad. I don't have a mount either. I mean, I think I just attack with everything and shoot the Sunmare. And hold back Molt Tender, obviously. Just keep the pain coming. Okay, I mean, in that case, I think let's just run over the Walking Sarcophagus. Not super ideal, but I mean, they just took 6. So they are going to get to find a permanent and put it straight into play, which is pretty darn annoying. But then I get to deal damage to that permanent, right? But yeah, they could like play 3 creatures here is the thing. +1/+0 for each artifact you control, so it's a 1/4. I don't think they're going to be in an attacking mood, are they? Maybe. No, they can't even saddle it. All right, I will exile a card just to get an extra mana. Now we're actually at the point where I don't even want to get unmana screwed. I guess it's still good, because I can Collision Course that guy. 5 damage to the Sunmare and attack. That's still good. I do choose to pay the ward. Do you have a little trick here? +1 million, 1 million, and lifelink? +2/+2 until end of turn. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, if they block, it's still dead, right? So I attack with everything and they're just dead, right? Attack, 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 attack. So they can block the 4/2. So what's gonna happen here is Sunmare trades with something. Yeah, so I actually attack with this guy, and that's gonna be lethal. That last little 1/1 is what makes it lethal, because they can block the 4/2, they can block the 3/3, but then they're gonna take 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. All right, we got there. Maybe they were mana screwed and they weren't mono white, but I kind of think they were just mono white. Diamond tier 1, woohoo! Closing in on Mythic. All right, folks, 5 wins, 2 losses. Can we break the chef's curse that he may have transferred onto me and get 6 wins and 2 losses? All right, I think it's a fine hand. I mean, I would really like something that could crew up the Worldwagon a little bit sooner, but, well, I mean, you can't really complain because the Worldwagon, turn 3 Worldwagon gets you a 4th land. Then on turn 4, hopefully you play a 5th land, and then the Jaguar can crew the Worldwagon, which can attack for 6 at that point. So that's pretty good. Hopefully they don't counter my Worldwagon. I learned that there is a super quench in the set, counter unless they pay 4, in fact, which I somehow forgot about. Ooh, is this going to be the cycling deck? That would be cool. Probably not, but maybe. That would be cool. All right. It's the right colors for the cycling deck, definitely. I don't really want my guy to get countered, so maybe I just go with the Dredger's Insight for now. As much as I want to do the ramp, we now know that these are counter mana. Some of you may have always known that. I recently learned it. Oh, that's kind of cool. I can get a Molt Tender and play it. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Just run that guy out, and now it has a bunch of ways of making mana. All right. All right. Down comes a Keen Buccaneer. And then I could play my 5 drop. I think that sounds good, right? Just be mana efficient. So the Buccaneer, you draw a card, then discard a card and put a counter on it. Yeah, I think we just play our 5 drop here. Kind of like that move. Because this is not the most precious card to me in the world. I'm just trying to use my mana well. I can't either spark and attack because the Molt Tender would only be a 2/2 if I do that. I love the Bloomborough Winter lands. I actually bought a draft set of these lands because I like them so much. Wow, they got all the rare lands. What's going on? That's ridiculous. All right, they're going to flood the engine on my Jaguar. Yep, that's fine. We basically did that specifically because we wanted something like that to happen. So no complaints here. All right, I'll play a land. I still can't go like Worldwagon plus either Spark. I really want to have some creatures that can do some attacking or some blocking, but mainly attacking. So let's go for Fang Druid Summoner. Go ahead and find the vanilla creature and play that guy. I'm starting to run out of cards in the graveyard a little bit, but at least now, you know, they kind of have to do something for the Keen Buccaneer to get to keep attacking. Okay, Sky Serpent Seeker. Wow, they love having mana. I mean, I also love having mana, so I like that they did that during their main phase. You do not have to do that during your main phase. And this means that I don't have to play around counters, so that's nice. What is happening here? Interesting. I'll definitely just double block. I don't see any way that this could go wrong for me. Famous last words. Yeah, okay, well, that's kind of awesome. Okay, so now I think what I do is either spark onto Molt Tender and attack, because I don't think that the extra mana is that important. Now, is there a way that they, like, haste me out here? Probably. I can't also play another creature. That's kind of playing scared, though. I mean, I guess I could just attack with Molt Tender. Yeah, let's do that. I don't really want my Either Spark to get obliterated. So let's just attack with the Molt Tender. See if we can get a few extra damage in. I wouldn't be surprised if they just take it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they block. Just kind of depends on what they have in their hand. Then play a land. The Worldwagon is going to be huge when we do ultimately get to play it. Okay, Jaguar time, that's perfectly fine. Greenbelt Guardian, they haven't started their engine, so if they do 2 damage here, it really is just 2 damage for once in the set and not setting up something. So put 3 counters on it would make it a 5-5, and this thing can attack as a 6-6. Okay, so let's start with Worldwagon. Get ourselves a Plains. And then play the land, play... I guess I can play Camera Launcher and I can level it up at the end of their turn. I guess I probably should have... Oh no, sorry, I'm missing a little bit of mana to do that. I probably should have drawn some cards first, but I think this is fine to just then re-equip here, let's say. And then I can also play a Canyon Vaulter. I can exile this because I've already played the Fanged Summoner. Otherwise, I would want that to be in the graveyard. And then pass. No attacks. The reason I'm leveling up the Fanged Summoner is it makes their attacks, especially when it hits 4-6, it makes their attacks kind of hard, because then it can survive a Greenbelt Guardian. And it also makes them have to crew their Alacrian Jaguar to get through. So next turn, I'm definitely going to be drawing off of the Aether Spark for sure. Here, I think I just take the 5 potentially. Well, we'll see how much they attack for. We'll see. I want my Camera Launcher to survive this turn. I want to attack with the Worldwagon, although do I really care? Maybe I'm just blocking with Worldwagon. I don't think that it matters that much to me to keep the Worldwagon digging lands out of the graveyard. Because this thing also gains Vigilance. Okay, let's trade. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Let's just go ahead and trade. It would be nice to completely thin my deck, but look, we're going to start drawing off of Aether Spark. I really don't think that I should get super greedy here. Target creature gains trample. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's part of what makes this card really good. Target creature gains trample. It's not just that it gains trample. Okay, so let's start by drawing. I like the idea of drawing cards. I don't know if you knew that about me. I don't know if I've even said that recently. I do like drawing cards. Okay. We can go Earth Rumbler, crew it. Oh, you know what we can do is Fang Guardian +2/+2 on something and then run over. Do I want them to declare blocks first? No, the blocks could actually get rather awkward there. So what if I do Fang Guardian +2/+2 on the Vaulter, shoot it into the Greenbelt Guardian, and attack with the team except holding back Molt Tender? That kind of sounds good. I could also get a billion counters on the Aether Spark, but I think that's probably going to happen anyways. When equipped creature deals combat damage, so I can't just get counters from run overing. They probably made that restriction because of some ridiculous commander combos or whatever. Oh, I should have done this before declaring attackers to see if it actually resolves. That was actually wrong of me. That was actually importantly wrong. Now, if the Mangler blocks Camera Launcher, I'm just going to immediately power up the launcher. Yeah, all right, there we go. 6 and 2. Cool, cool. 6 and 2. On to the next one. Playing for the trophy. Wow, I really am cursed to always play the maximum. Is this like 4 videos in a row, or 4 out of the last 5 videos? I ended up going either 7-2 or 6-3. It just feels like it's always the maximum amount of magic every video. Do I keep this so I can cycle Spectacular Pile Up? If I get stuck off of green, I can just cast it. And I have 2 2-drops. But if I don't draw lands, it's a complete disaster. Yeah, I mean, I also like the Dredger's Insight with Spectacular Pile Up. I'm also on the draw. I think I keep it. This is very borderline, but I think I keep it. Tough stuff. Now that I got that 3rd Plains, I feel like I'm probably going to try to cast the Spectacular Pile Up, not cycle it, because I only need to get 2 more lands to do it. Oh, this card was absolutely busted. Absolutely busted. 5 mana, reveal the top 3 cards of your library. You can reveal a permanent card and put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom. Yeah, I mean, it's a common, but it was like one of the best commons. It's part of what made green so good in the early set that they had. And there's another one that was like this in Foundations that's one of the best commons. There's one in Avatar that's one of the best commons. That kind of repeatable look at the top bunch, do a bunch. Yeah, we'll get a card out of it. It's just always really good. Okay, now having said that, I think now I'm just curving out, right? Because they didn't do anything on 3, and now they just have a 2/2. I might just collision course it Dredger's Insight and really look like I'm not board wiping. I know it's tempting when you have a board wipe to just hold everything in your hand and not do anything. The thing is, a lot of the time, number one, that makes it very obvious that you have a board wipe. Number two, it gets you into a situation where the opponent can just kind of do the minimum and not have to actually play anything out. So here I kind of just want to use 2 removal spells. I can go run over, shooting the Dawn Tyrant into the Captain, and then collision course. The other thing I could do, though, is attack with both and play my Fang Guardian. I think let's not use a removal, but I don't want them to start Beast Rider Vanguarding me. So if they do block Cloudspire Captain into Canyon Vaulter, I think I'll let it happen, and then I'll just shoot the Beast Rider Guardian afterwards. And then I'm leaning in a more board wipey territory. Okay, wow, that's actually good for me, right? So now I maybe just play the Fang Guardian. It does seem like they find this important. The thing about playing Fang Guardian is it's very unboard wipey. Like after the Fang Guardian, the branches go in a very not board wiping direction. But I don't know, I think I might win just by playing it out. I could just accept the trade here. Okay, let's just accept the trade here. And then maybe I just play Dredger's Insight. And I could get a land. Oh, I'll get a Slumbering Worldwagon, that's for sure. Although, yeah, I'll get a Slumbering Worldwagon. Now I do hope to get a land, though. So that I can just pile up immediately and then Worldwagon. But now I'm very priced into playing the pile up. That line was very much, let's play the pile up line. The reason I did things that way is them keeping their captain alive meticulously suggests to me that they have a good creature coming down. Okay. That's not a great creature, but it is a creature. Do I just... I mean, I could just play the Worldwagon to guarantee myself the next land, give them a problem to solve. The other option would be something like attack and then Fang Guardian. Maybe let's do that. It's still kind of the minimum. In this line, maybe it's better if I had Fang Guardian last turn, but suppose that they're doing this because I have a combat trick here. This would be really good for me because then I can just board wipe next turn. And if they don't have anything, it still feels really good for me because now run over gets better, collision course gets better. It seems like they're a little bit stuck, so I don't really want to sit here waiting to board wipe. Okay, yeah, they seem a little stuck. Well, in that case, I think I'm just going to play out my worst card to get a good attack in with the Fang Guardian. Because now it's lethal in 2 turns. Forget about setting up a board wipe. I'm just in the driver's seat. So let's see. In for 7. Okay, they have a... Okay, yeah, they have a Rides End. It exiles. Yeah, so indestructible doesn't matter. Okay. Better that hits my random, totally random card. Than that it hits, like, Lumbering Worldwagon, right? Wow, I just cannot get that last land. That is so funny. Let's see. It's so funny that I just cannot get that last land. What do I do? Not playing the Worldwagon is starting to get very conspicuous, isn't it? Wow, I just assumed that I would draw land at some point in this game. Maybe I just don't do anything? Not playing the Worldwagon is so obvious. I could attack with both. When they block, I use a run over or a collision course. The fact that my Worldwagon is face up makes my life so much harder. I just don't want to board wipe my own Worldwagon. They must have good cards in their hand at this point. Okay, I've convinced myself to do nothing. They know I have a board wipe because I'm not playing the Worldwagon. So now we just need to make it advantageous to us. I assume they're going to do nothing. Okay, all right. So that makes my board wipe a lot better. Can I get a land, please? Why do they think I'm not playing the Worldwagon? Holy smokes, like, what am I supposed to do at this point? I guess I just don't do anything because I really want to play that board wipe. And I mean, I could play the Worldwagon to get the land. You know, the moment I do that, I'm just going to draw land. The instant I do that, I'm going to draw land. And the cycling card that I have is the exact same card as the board wipe. So, well, I'm definitely just going to chump this. Maybe they played this because they don't have the random bit of arcane knowledge in their head that the only board wipe in this set destroys vehicles as well. Could not be more obvious that I have a board wipe here. Could not possibly be more obvious. I could spend a run over just to hedge against the case that I don't draw land. But I think next turn, if I don't draw land, I'm going to play the Worldwagon. Because what am I going to do? Like, go to discard? It makes no sense. Plow through. So now I'm looking at taking 6 damage. I think let's just throw the run over away here. I know that this is throwing it in the garbage. I know this is throwing a card in the garbage. But if I don't draw the land for the spectacular pileup at this point, it's so bad for me. I could be taking 12 damage next turn. And I'm almost at hand size. Like, I don't think I'm supposed to get greedy with value at this point. Okay, there's my land. Spending the run over is what caused me to draw the land, by the way, in case you didn't know. The fact that I spent that run over is how I drew the land. If I hadn't spent the run over, there would be no land. Ooh, that was scary. That was scary. It looks like they were going to give something indestructible. Yeah, but now we're like not necessarily ahead. I took that line really hoping to... Oh, what's this? Put a counter on it. When it dies, draw a card for each counter on it. Ooh. So you just get 1,000,000 cards? That's really bad for me. I guess I'll give you 3 cards back. Look, I also have 1,000 cards in my hand, so good for you. You go up to 6 cards in hand. I have 6 cards in hand. I mean, everything would have been a whole lot better if I could have just found my lands at an appropriate pace, but that's how that goes. I guess I was supposed to play the Worldwagon a little earlier, but then they clearly were just holding onto this walker forever. Now I'm way behind again. We'll see what they found. Velohard Bike. Okay, do they have something that can crew it? Maybe I get to play something, kill whatever can crew it, and attack with the Worldwagon. That would be good. Using run over. Like, play the Jaguar, run over something. Back on track, getting a 1/1, and another 1/1, and then you can crew this thing. Well, that's annoying. So I can cycle the Elite to destroy that thing that costs 5. No, I can't even. All right, well, clearly I just played the Jaguar. Hold up, run over. Oh, this is too bad. You know, I could crew the Worldwagon and attack, and then when they crew, I run over into the Broadcast Rambler, and that way I get a creature. That sounds good. I like that. I like that move. I like that move. This is a lot more active than just sitting on my hands. And it probably means that they have to chump with a 1/1. So let's go ahead and... Okay, I do take that action. This is an instant, right? Can target a vehicle, right? But I just didn't have priority or something. Okay, good. I'll shoot this guy into targeted creature you control, targeted creature they control. Goodbye to that guy. Autopay. Resolve. Is it working? It's working. Okay. And then they probably have to chump with their 1/1. This thing crews for 2, so now they need to play something else to be able to crew it. This is not an artifact, so unfortunately... Oh, no. They can crew it with this pilot creature. So unfortunately, I can't Web Strike Elite to destroy the pilot, but I can Web Strike Elite to destroy the Velohard Bike, which costs 5 mana. So I can go 4, 5, 6, 7. If I draw land, I can cycle the Webheart Elite and play Leonin Surveyor. That starts my engines, which I don't have the 3/3 in the bin this game. It also can saddle the Alacrian Jaguar. Dune Drifter. So what do you get back? Another Broadcast Rambler again? No, Hazard of the Dunes. At least it's not power up, so they can't now... Well, I don't know how that wouldn't work with power up, I don't think. No, I actually think it does work with power up. So they can't immediately give it 3 counters. Ooh, Aether Spark. I like that. So what if I go 4 mana for the Aether Spark, play Camera Launcher, maybe 4 mana for the Aether Spark, put it on the Jaguar, saddle the Jaguar with Leonin Surveyor. I like the idea of being able to crew Lumbering Worldwagon afterwards. Well, this is going to be a 7/7, so it could trade with both of these. It could trade with Hazard plus Dune Drifter. Okay, let's do that. It's going to be a 7/7. I would rather be able to go in with Worldwagon, I guess, but then the Aetherspark would fall off of the Worldwagon. So let's stick that on this guy. Then I'm going to go ahead and I think I do play Camera Launcher. It's better than playing the Web Strike Elite. It's mana efficient. I like the fact that it doesn't have to trade. So I'm going to saddle this up to make it attack as a 7/7. Next, in with the Jaguar. And hopefully we're about to get a whole bunch of counters on this guy, on the Aetherspark. Because also, Hazard of the Dunes would be able to crack back if they somehow kill this, but they can't. They would have to block with the Hazard in order to kill it, right? Wow, this video got so long because I'm not very familiar with the cards, of course. And also, I have the curse. I have the ultimate curse of all time. Okay. All right, we can make some trades. That's fine. Hopefully they don't have another Dune Drifter and they're going to start cycling or looping Dune Drifters. That would be really bad for me. Well, X would be 0, so I don't think you can loop them or really get much advantage out of doing that. All right, I like that they're making a 1/1. That sounds like someone who doesn't have that much to do. Saddle up the Lynx, probably also saddle up the bike, smack me for 6, I'm guessing. No real point in hitting the Aetherspark. Oh, we are hitting the Aetherspark. Wow, interesting. Okay. That is interesting. I guess they don't want me drawing cards. Guess that makes sense. So the Lynx gets lifelink. Okay, pretty awesome that I can grab Sundial back. So I could do this plus Sundial, or I could play the Camera Launcher. I kind of like the idea of cycling Web Strike Elite, but maybe not this turn. What's my most mana efficient play? I guess playing Fang Druid. Play the Fang Druid, get the 3/3 back. I'm going to want to play the 3/3. I definitely think I'm supposed to attach this to something this turn and get some counters onto it. So if I play this, I could also just level up Camera Launcher instead of the 3/3. But I think I want to crew up Lumbering Worldwagon and just go in for a whole ton of damage. I do wonder if they're holding a Ride's End for my Worldwagon, but I think that's not so bad. Also, Fang Druid Summoner gives me a life off of Dredger's Insight. So yeah, let's do all of this before combat. I could put it on the... I could put the Aetherspark onto the Lumbering Worldwagon. What I'm afraid of if I do that is Ride's End. I think the way that they're playing really makes it sound like they have removal. I will play this before combat. So Aetherspark would die if they have Ride's End and I tap both of these to crew up the Worldwagon. I mean, Aetherspark is nice and all, but that means that they would have to spend their Ride's End on Camera Launcher, which I think I'm A-okay with. So this all sounds pretty good. Oh, you know what? I should have gotten a Forest. All right, but now I am tapped down. But they are only representing, yeah, not that much damage. All right, we trophied. Heck yeah. Diamond tier 2. Or Diamond tier 1, I mean, 2 pips. Yeah, so that first game when I played Destroy Target Artifact thinking it was an instant, yeah, obviously that was just trying to get maximum magic for my money. I knew I would lose, but I knew I was going to trophy anyways, so... All right, so what worked well? Spectacular Pileup was as awkward as expected in a heavily creature-based deck. Lumbering Worldwagon in the Aetherspark was just not okay. Imperiosaur always ate a removal spell immediately. Web Striker Elite was absolutely cracked. Basri was pretty awkward. Molt Tender was more awkward than I'd hoped. Dredger's Insight was always awesome. And Collision Course is a sorcery. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be back with either a Marvel draft or maybe it's actually probably already time to do the data deep dive on the Arena Direct because an Arena Direct is happening for Marvel. So it'll be Marvel tomorrow, but I'm going to try to keep some Aetherdrift, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Lorewyn, that kind of content coming at least to the tune of once a week. So until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic and don't be afraid to splash.